don't take that sinner from me. Oh, don't take that sinner from me.
Break off thy song and haste thee quick away. Here comes a man of comfort whose advice hath often stilled my brawling discontent. I cry you mercy, sir, and well could wish you had not found me here so musical. Let me excuse me and believe me so, my mirth it much displeased, but pleased my woe.
'Tis good, though music oft have such a charm to make bad good, and good provoke to harm. I pray you, tell me, hath anybody inquired for me here today?
You have not been inquired after. I have sat here all day.
I do constantly believe you. The time has come, even now. I shall crave your forbearance a little. Maybe I shall call upon you anon for some advantage to yourself.
I am always bound to you.
Very well meant and welcome. Tell me, what news from this good deputy?
He hath a garden, circummured with brick, whose western end is with a vineyard back. And to that vineyard is a little door that makes his opening with this bigger key. This other doth command a little door, which from the vineyard to the garden leads. There have I made my promise upon the heavy middle of the night to call upon him.
But shall you on your knowledge find this way?
I obtain a due and wear a note upon't. With whispering and most guilty diligence, in action all of precept, he did show me the way twice o'er.
Are there no other tokens between you agreed concerning her observance?
No, none. But only a repair in the dark, and that I have made him know that my most stay can be but brief. For I have possessed him that I have a servant comes with me alone, that stays upon me, whose persuasion is I come about my brother.
'Tis well borne up. I have not yet made known to Mariana a word of this. I pray you, be acquainted with this maid. She comes to do you good.
I do desires alike.
Do you persuade yourself that I respect you?
Good, friar, I know you do and have found it.
Take then this your companion by the hand, who hath a story ready for your ear. I shall attend your leisure, but make haste. The vaporous night approaches.
Will please you walk aside?
Oh, place of greatness. Millions of false eyes are stuck upon thee. Volumes of report, line. Run with these false and most contrarious quests. Line. Upon thy doing, thousands of sleeps of wit. Make thee the father of their idle dreams, and rack thee in their fancies. Welcome. How agreed?
She'll take the enterprise upon her, father, if you advise it.
It is not my consent, but my entreaty too.
Little have you to say when you depart from him, but soft and low. Remember now, my brother.
Fear me not.
Nor, gentle daughter, fear you not at all. He is your husband on a pre-contract. To bring you thus together, 'tis no sin.
Stand by door 1.
Sith that the justice
Stand by
of
door
your
2.
title to him
Stand
doth
by door
flourish
3.
the deceit. Come, let us go. Our corns to reap, for yet our tithes to sow.
Door 1, go. Door 2, go. Door 3, go. Door 1.
Come hither, Sirrah. Can you cut off a man's head?
If you be a bachelor, sir, I can. But if you be a married man, he's his wife's head, and I can never cut off a man's head, or a woman's head.
Come, sir. Leave me your snatches and yield to me a direct answer. Tomorrow morning are to die Claudio and Barnum. Here in the prison is a common executioner who in his office lacks a helper. If you take it on you to help him, it shall redeem you of your jibes. If not, you shall have your full time of imprisonment with your deliverance and unpitied whipping, for you have been a notorious bawd.
Sir, I have been an unlawful bawd time out of mind. But yet, I will be content to be a lawful hangman. I will be glad to receive some instruction from my fellow partner.
What ho, a porson? Where's a porson there?
Do you all, sir?
Sirrah, here's a fellow will help you tomorrow with your execution. If you think it meet, compound with him by the year and let him abide here with you. If not, use him for the present and dismiss him. He cannot plead his estimation with you. He hath been a bawd.
A bawd, sir. Fie upon him. He will discredit our mystery.
Go to, you weigh equally. A feather will turn the scale.
Do you call your occupation, sir, a mystery?
Aye, sir. A mystery.
Painting, sir, I've heard say, is a mystery. And your whores being members of my occupation, using painting to prove my occupation a mystery. But what mystery should there be in hanging? If I should be hanged, I cannot imagine.
Sir, it is a mystery.
Are you agreed?
Sir, I will, line,
Serve him.
I will serve him, for I do find your hangman to be a more penitent trade. He doth oftener ask forgiveness.
You, Sirrah, provide your block and your axe tomorrow, 4 o'clock.
Come on, bawd. I will instruct you in my trade. Follow.
I do desire to learn, sir, and I hope if you have occasion to use me for your own turn, you shall find me yard. For truly, for your kindness, I shall owe you a good turn.
Here's the warrant for the death of Claudio. It is now dead midnight, and by 8 tomorrow, he must be made immortal. Where's Barnaby?
As fast locked up in sleepless, guiltless labor, when it lies starkly in the traveler's bones, he will not wake.
Who can do good on him? Well, go. Prepare yourselves.
Heaven give your spirits comfort.
Welcome, Father.
The best and wholesomest spirits of the night envelop you, good provost. Hath anyone called to you of late?
None since the curfew run.
Not Isabel?
No.
They will then, ere it be long.
What comfort is for Claudio?
There's some in hope. Have you no countermand for Claudio yet? But he must die tomorrow.
None, sir. None. How now, what noise? That spirits possessed with haste.
As near the dawning, provost, you shall hear more ere morning.
Happily. You something know, yet I believe there comes no counterman for Claudio. No such example have we. Besides, upon the very siege of justice, Lord Angelo hath to the public ear professed the contrary. This is his lordship's man.
And here comes Claudio's pardon.
My lord hath sent you this note, and by me this further charge, that you swerve not from the smallest article of it, neither in time, matter, or other circumstance. Good morrow, for as I take it, it is almost day.
I shall obey.
Now, sir, what news?
We told you Lord Angelo be like thinking me remiss in mine office. Awakens me with this unwanted putting on. We think strangely, for he hath not used it before.
Pray, let's hear.
Whatsoever you may hear to the contrary, let Claudio be executed by 4 o'clock, and in the afternoon Barnaby. For my better satisfaction, let me have Claudio's head sent me by 5. Let this be duly performed, with a thought that more depends on it than we must yet deliver. Thus fail not to do your office, as you will answer it at your peril. What say you to this, sir?
Which is that Barnardine that is to be executed in the afternoon?
a Bohemian born, but here nursed up and bred, one that is a prisoner 9 years old.
How came it that the absent duke had neither delivered him to his liberty or executed him?
His friends still wrought reprieve for him. Indeed, his fact till now in the government of Lord Angelo came not to an undoubtful truth.
Hath he borne himself penitently in prison? How seems he to be touched?
A man that apprehends death no more dreadfully but as a drunken sleep. Careless, fearless, and reckless of what's past, present, or to come. Yet evermore had the liberty of the prison, drunk many times a day, if not many days entirely drunk. We have very oft awakened him as if to carry him to execution. It hath not moved him at all.
He wants guidance, but more of him anon. There is written in your brow, Provost, honesty and constancy. In the boldness of my cunning, I will lay myself in hazard. Claudio, whom here you have a warrant to execute, is no greater warrant to the law than Angelo, who hath sentenced him. To make you understand this in a manifested effect, I pray for a few days' respite, for the which you will do me both a present and dangerous courtesy.
Pray, sir, what?
In the delaying death.
Alack, how may I do it? Having the hour limited and an express command, under penalty to deliver his head in view of Angelo, I may make my case as Claudio's to cross this in the smallest.
By the vow of my order, I warrant you, if my instructions may be your guide, let this morning Barnardine be this morning executed, and his head borne to Angelo.
Angelo hath seen them both and will discover the fate.
Oh, death's a great disguiser, and you may add to it. Shave the head and tie the beard, and say it was the desire of the penitent to be so barred before his death. You know the course is common. If anything falls to you upon this more than thanks and good fortune, by the saint whom I profess, I will plead against it with my life.
Pardon me, good father. It is against my oath.
Were you sworn to the duke or to the deputy?
To him and to his substitutes.
Oh, so you think you have made no offense if the duke avouched the justice of your dealing?
But what likelihood is in that?
Here is the hand and seal of the duke. You know the character, I doubt not, and the signet is not strange to you.
I know them both.
The contents of this letter is the return of the duke. You shall anon overread it at your pleasure, where you shall find, within these 2 days he will be here. This is something that Angelo knows not. For this very day he receives letters of a strange tenor, perchance of the duke's death, perchance entering into some monastery, but by chance, nothing of what is writ. Call your executioner, and off with Barnardine's head. I will advise him for a present shrift, and advise him for a better place. Yet you are amazed. But this shall absolutely resolve you. Come away. It is almost clear dawn.
Lights.
I had me a girl, she taught me those things a young man should know.
Lights up.
Down, down on my knees, I'd beg and I'd plead to learn a little bit more. Oh, that woman taught me to pray. I saw heaven every day. Oh, she could
Oh, I had me a boy, buttoned me down, drew me a line. He washed me as clean as a sinner could be, showed me the light. Oh, that boy, he taught me to pray, and for all of his big shining ways, oh, he could
I am as well acquainted here as I was in my house of profession. One would think it was Mistress Overdone's own house, for here are many of her old customers. First we have young Master Rash. He's in for a commodity of brown paper and old ginger, 17 pounds, which he made 5 marks ready money. Mary, old ginger was not much in request, for the old women were all dead. Then we have one Master Caper at the suit of Master Three-Pile the Mercer for some 4 suits of peach-colored satin, which now peaches him a beggar. Then we have your young Dizzy, and young Master Drop Air, and young Deep Bow that killed Lusty Pudding. Oh, and brave Master Shooty, the great traveler. Oh, lie.
And wild half can.
Oh, and wild half can that stab pots, and I think 40 more. All great doers of our trade, and are now, for the Lord's sake.
Sirrah, bring Barnardine hither.
Master Barnardine, you must rise and be hanged, Master Barnardine.
What ho, Barnardine?
The pox are your throats. Who makes that noise there? What are you?
Your friend, sir, the hangman. You must be so good and rise and be put to death.
Away, you rogue, away! I'm sleepy. Tell him he must awake, and that quickly too.
Praise Master Barnardine, awake and be hanged and sleep afterwards.
Go into him and fetch him out!
Borson, what's the news with you?
Truly, sir, I would desire you to clap into your prayers. For look you, the warrant's come.
You rogue, I've been drinking all night. I'm not fitted for it.
Oh, the better, sir, for he that drinks all night and is hanged betimes in the morning may sleep sounder all the next day.
Look you, sir, here comes your ghostly father. You jest now, think you?
Sir, induced by my charity, and hearing how hastily you are to depart, I am come to advise you, comfort you, and pray with you.
Friar Nada, I have been drinking hard all night, and I will have more time to prepare me. I will not die this day, that's certain.
Oh, sir, you must, and therefore I beseech you, look forward on the journey you shall go.
I swear I will not die for any man's persuasion.
But hear you.
Not a word. If you have anything to say to me, come to my ward, for thence will not I today.
Oh, I'm fit to live or die. After him, fellows, take him to the block.
Now, sir, how do you find the prisoner?
A creature unprepared, unfit for death, and to transport him in the mind he is, were damnable.
Here in the prison, Father, there died this morning of a cruel fever one Ragazine, a most notorious pirate. A man of Claudio's years, his face and hair just of his color. What if we do omit this reprobate till he were well inclined, and satisfy the deputy with the visage of Ragazine, more like to Claudio?
Oh, 'tis an accident that heaven provides. Quick, dispatch and send it the line. Quick dispatch. The hour draws on, prefixed by Angelo. See this be done, and sent according to command, whilst I persuade this rude wretch willingly to die.
It shall be done, good father, presently. But Barnardine must die this afternoon. How shall we continue Claudio to save me from the danger that might come if he were known alive?
Let this be done. Put them in secret holds, both Barnardine and Claudio. Ere twice the sun hath made its journal greeting to the under generation, you shall find your safety manifested.
I am your free dependent.
Quick, dispatch and send ahead to Angelo, for I will commune with you of such things that want no ear but yours.
I'll make all speed.
Now will I write letters to Angelo. The provost, he shall bear them, whose contents shall have line.
Content shall I witness to him?
Whose contents shall witness to him that I am near at home, and that, by great injunctions, I am bound to enter publicly. Him I'll desire to meet me at the consecrated fount, a league below the city, and from thence, line,
By cold
by
gradation.
cold gradation and well-balanced form, we shall proceed with Angelo.
Lydia?
Please, help me here!
The tongue of Isabel. She's come to know of yet her brother's pardon be come hither. But I will keep her ignorant of her good, to make her line,
Heavenly comforts.
to make her heavenly comforts of despair when it is least expected.
Lights, shift.
Ho! Peace, by your leave! Friar!
Good morning, fair and gracious daughter.
The better given me by so holy a man. Hath yet the deputy sent my brother's pardon?
He hath released him, Isabel, from the world. His head is off and sent to Angelo.
Nay, but it is not so.
It is no other. Show your wisdom, daughter, and your close patience.
Oh, I will chew him and pluck out his eyes!
You shall not be admitted to his sight.
Unhappy Claudio. Wretched Isabel. Injurious world, most damned Angelo.
Mark what I say, which you shall find by every syllable of faithful verity. The Duke comes home tomorrow. Nay, dry your eyes. One of our convent and our confessor gives me this instance. Already he hath carried notice to Escala and Angelo, who do prepare to meet him at the gates, there to give up their power. Line,
If you can.
if you can, pace your wisdom in that good path that I wish it go, and you shall have your bosom on this wretch. Grace of the Duke, revenge is to your heart, and general honor.
I am directed by you.
This letter, then, to Friar Thomas give. 'Tis he that sent me of the Duke's return. Say by this token, I desire his company at Mariana's house tonight. Her cause and yours, I'll perfect him withal. And he shall bring you before the Duke, and to the head of Angelo, accuse him home and home. For my poor self, I am combined by a sacred vow and shall be absent. Wend you with this letter. Command those fretting waters from your eyes with a light heart. Trust not my holy order if I do pervert your course. Who's there?
Good even, Friar. Hast thou seen the provost?
Not within, sir.
Oh, pretty Isabel, I am pale at my heart to see thine eyes so red. Thou must be patient.
I dare not for my head fill my belly. One small meal will set me to it.
They say the Duke will be here tomorrow. By my troth, Isabel, I love thy brother. If the old fantastical Duke of Dark Corners had been at home, he'd have lived.
The Duke is marvelous, little beholding to your reports. But the best is, he lives not in them.
Friar, thou knowest not the Duke so well as I. He's a better woodman than thou takest it for. Nay, tarry. I'll go along with thee. I can tell thee pretty tales of the Duke. I was once before him, forgetting a wench with child.
Did you such a thing?
Yes, marry, I did, but I was fain to forswear it. Else he would have married me to the rotten meddler.
Sir, your company is fairer than honest. You'll answer this one day. Fare you well.
Friar, I'll go with thee to Lane's End. If bawdy talk offend, we'll have very little of it. Then, Friar, I am a kind of bird. I shall stick.
Every letter he hath writ hath dispatched other.
In most uneven and distracted manner. His actions show much like to madness. Pray heaven his wisdom be not tainted. And why meet him at the gates and redeliver our authorities there?
I guess not.
And why should we proclaim it in an hour before his entering, that if any crave redress of injustice, they should exhibit their petitions in the street?
He shows his reason for that. It is to have a dispatch of complaints and to deliver us from devices hereafter which shall then have no power to stand against us.
Well, I beseech you, let it be proclaimed betimes in the morning. I'll send for you at your house. Give notice to such men of sort and suit as are to meet him.
I shall, sir. Fare you well.
This deed unshakes me quite. Makes me unpregnant and dull to all proceedings. A deflowered maid, and by an eminent body that enforce the law against it. But that her tender shame will not proclaim against her maiden loss. How might she tongue me? Yet reason dares her no. For my authority bears of a Cretan bulk that no particular scandal once can touch, but it confounds the breather. He should have lived. Save that riotous youth with dangerous sense might in the time to come have ta'en revenge by so receiving a dishonored life with ransom of such shame. But yet he had lived. Alack, when once our grace we have forgot, nothing goes right. We would and we would not.
To speak so indirectly, I am loath. I would say the truth, but to accuse him so, that is your prerogative. Yet I am advised to do what the friar says to veil full purpose.
Be ruled by him.
Besides, he tells me that if peradventure he should speak against me on the adverse side, I should not think it strange, for 'tis a physic that's bitter to sweet end.
I would, Friar Thomas.
Isabel,
Peace, the friar is come.
Come, I found you on a stand most fit, where you may have such vantage on the Duke. He shall not pass us.
The Duke is entering.
My very worthy cousin, fairly met. Oh, our old and faithful friend, we are glad to see you.
happy return be to your royal grace.
Many and hearty thankings to you both. We have made inquiry of you, and we hear such goodness of your justice that we cannot but bring you forth to public thanks for running more requital.
You make my bond still greater.
Give me your hand. And let the subjects see, to let them know that outward courtesies would fain proclaim favors that keep within. Come, Escalon, you must walk by us on our other hand.
Now is your time. Speak loud and kneel before him.
Justice, O loyal Duke, veil your regard upon a wronged, I would fain have said a maid. O worthy prince, dishonor not your eye by throwing it on any other object, till you have heard me in my true complaint, and given me justice, 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 justice!
Relate your wrongs. In what? By whom? Be brief. Here is is Lord Angelo shall give you justice. Reveal yourself to him.
O worthy Duke, you bid me seek redemption of the devil. Hear me yourself. For that which I must speak must either punish me not being believed, or wring redress from you. Hear me, oh hear me, hear.
My lord, her wits, I fear me, are not firm. She hath been a suitor to me for her brother, cut off by course of justice.
By course of justice.
And she will speak most bitterly and strange.
Most strange, and yet most truly will I speak. That Angelo is forsworn, is it not strange? That Angelo is a murderer, is not strange? That Angelo is an adulterous thief, an hypocrite, a virgin violator. Is it not strange and strange?
Nay, it is 10 times strange.
It is not true, or he is Angelo, then this is all as true as it is strange. Nay, it is 10 times true, for truth is truth to the end of reckoning.
Away with her. The poor soul, she speaks this in the infirmity of sense.
Prince, the wickedest caitiff on the ground may seem as shy, as brave, as just, as absolute as Angelo. Even so, may Angelo in all his dressings, characters, titles, forms be an arched villain. Believe it, royal prince, if he be less, he's none. If he's more, had I more name for badness.
Many that are not mad have sure more lack of reason. What would you say?
I am the sister of one Claudio, condemned upon the act of fornication to lose his head, condemned by Angelo. I, in probation of the sisterhood, was sent to by my brother, one Lucio, as then the messenger.
Yoo-hoo! That's I. And it like your grace, I came to her from Claudio and desired her to try her grace's fortune for her poor brother's part.
That's he indeed.
You were not bid to speak.
No, my good lord, nor wish to hold my peace.
I wish you now then, and pray you take note of it. When you have a business for yourself, pray heaven you then be perfect.
I warrant, your honor.
The warrant's for yourself. Take heed to it.
This gentleman told somewhat of my tale.
Right.
It may be right, but you are in the wrong to speak before your time. Proceed.
I went to this pernicious caitiff deputy.
And that somewhat madly spoken.
Pardon it. The phrase is to the matter.
Mend it again. The matter, proceed.
In brief, to set the needless process by, how I persuaded, how I prayed and kneeled, how he denied me, and how I replied, for this was much of length. He would not, but by gift of my chaste body to his concupiscible, intemperate lust, release my brother. And after much debatement, I did yield to him. But the next morning betimes, his purpose surfeiting, he sends a warrant for my poor brother's head.
This is most likely.
Oh, that it were as like as it is true.
If he had so offended, he would have weighed thy brother by himself and not have cut him off. Someone hath set you on. Confess the truth and say by whose advice thou camest here to complain.
And is this all? Then, O you blessed ministers above, keep me in patience, and with ripened time unfold the evil that is here wrapped up in countenance. Heaven, shield your grace from woe, as I thus wronged, hence unbelieve it go.
Away with her to prison. Shall we thus permit a blasting and a scandalous breath to fall on him so near us? This needs must be a practice. Who knew of your intent in coming hither?
One that I would were here, Friar Lodovick.
Oh, ghostly father belike. Who knows that Lodovick?
My lord, I know the man. 'Tis a meddling friar. I do not like him. Had he been led, for certain words he spake against your grace in your retirement, I had swinged him soundly.
Words against me? This is a good friar belike. And to set on this wretched woman here against our substitute. Let this friar be found.
But yesternight, my lord, she and that friar, I saw them at the prison. A saucy friar, a very scurvy fellow.
Blessed be your royal grace. I have stood by, my lord, and I have heard your royal ear abused. First, hath this woman most wrongfully accused your substitute, who is as free from touch or soil with her as she from one ungot.
We did believe no less. Know you this friar Lodovick she speaks of?
I know him for a man divine and holy, not scurvy nor a temporary meddler, as he's reported by this gentleman. And on my my trust, a man that never yet did, as he vouches, misreport your grace.
My lord, most villainously believe it.
Well, he in time may come to clear himself upon his mere request. Being come to knowledge there was complaint intended against Lord Angelo, came I hither, to speak as from his mouth what he doth know is true and false. First, for this woman to justify this worthy nobleman, so vulgarly and personally accused, her shall you hear disapprove it to her eyes, till she herself confess it.
Good friar, let's hear it. Do not laugh at this, Lord Angelo. Oh, the vanity of wretched fools. Come, give us some seats. Cousin Angelo, in this I'll be impartial. Be you the judge of your own cause. Is this the witness, friar? Come. First, let her show her face, and after speak.
Pardon, my lord, I will not show my face until my husband bid me.
What, are you married?
No, my lord.
A maid?
No, my lord.
A widow, then?
Neither, my lord.
Well, you are nothing, then. Neither maid, widow, nor wife.
My lord, she may be a whore, for many of them are neither maid, widow, nor wife.
Silence that fellow! I would he had some cause to prattle for himself.
Well, my lord.
This is mine?
My lord, I do confess I ne'er was married. And I confess, besides, I am no maid. I have known my husband, yet my husband knows not that ever he knew me.
But he was drunk then, my lord. It can be no less.
For the benefit of silence, would thou wert so too?
Well, my lord.
This is no witness for Lord Angelo.
Now I come to it, my lord. She that accuses him of fornication, in self-same manner doth accuse my husband, and charges him, my lord, with such a time, when I will depose I had him in mine arms with all the effect of love.
Charges she more than me?
Not that I know.
No. You say your husband?
Why, just, my lord, and that is Angelo, who thinks he knows that he ne'er knew my body, but knows he thinks that he knows Isabel's.
This is a strange abuse. Let's see thy face.
My husband bids me. Now I will unmask. This is that face, thou cruel Angelo, which once thou sworest was worth the looking on. This is the hand which with a vowed contract was fast belocked in thine. This is the body that took away the match from Isabel, and did supply thee at thy garden house in her imagined person.
Know you this woman?
Cardinally, she says.
Hear on no more!
Enough, my lord.
My lord, I must confess, I know this woman. And 5 years since there was some speech of marriage betwixt myself and her, which was broke off, partly for that her promised proportions came short of composition, but in chief for that her reputation was disvalued in levity. Since which time of 5 years I never spake with her, saw her, nor heard from her, upon my faith and honor.
Noble prince, as there comes light from heaven and words from breath, as there is sense in truth, and truth in virtue, I am affiance this man's wife as strongly as words could make up vows, and my good lord. But yesternight last gone in's garden house, he knew me as a wife. As this is true, let me in safety raise me from my knees, or else forever be confixed here a marble monument.
I did but smile till now. Now, good, my lord, give me the scope of justice. My patience here is touched. I do perceive these poor, informal women are but instruments of some more mightier member that sets them on. Let me have my way, my lord, to find this practice out.
I with my heart, and punish them to your height of pleasure. Sit with my cousin, and lend him your kind pains, to find out this abuse whence 'tis derived. There was another friar that had set them on. Let him be sent for.
Would he were here, my lord, for he indeed hath set the woman on to this complaint. Your provost knows the place where he abides, and he may fetch him.
Go do it instantly. And you, my noble, well-warranted cousin, whom it concerns me to hear this matter forth, do with your injuries as seems you best in any chastisement. I for a while will leave you, but stir not you till you have well determined upon these slanderers.
We'll deal it thoroughly, my lord.
Signor Lucio, did not you say you knew this Friar Lodovic to be a dishonest person?
Cuculus non facit monachum, honest in nothing but his clothes, and one that hath spoke most villainous speeches of the Duke.
We shall entreat you to abide here and charge them against him when he comes. We shall find this friar a notable fellow.
Call that same Isabel here once again. I would speak with her.
Oh, pray you, my lady, give me leave to question. I'll show you how I'll handle her.
Mary, sir, I think perhaps if you handled her privately, she would sooner confess. Perchance, publicly, she'll be ashamed.
I will go darkly to work with her.
That's the way, for women are light every man.
My lord, this is the rascal I spoke of, here with the provost.
In very good time. Speak not you to him till we call upon you.
Mother.
Come, sir. Did you set these women on to slander Lord Angelo? They have confessed you did.
'Tis false.
How?
Know you where you are.
Where is the Duke? 'Tis he should hear me speak.
The Duke's in us, and we will hear you speak. Look, you speak justly.
Boldly, at least. But oh, poor souls. Come you to seek the lamb here of the fox? Good night to your redress. Is the Duke gone? And is your cause gone too? The Duke's unjust. Thus to retort your manifest appeal and put the trial in the villain's mouth, which here you come to accuse.
My lord, this is the rascal I spoke of.
Why, thou unreverend and unhallowed friar, is it not enough thou hast suborned these women to accuse this worthy man, but in foul mouth and witness of his proper ear, to call him villain, and then to glance from him to the Duke himself, to tax him with injustice? What? Unjust?
Be not so hot. The Duke dare no more stretch this finger of mine than he dare rack his own. His subject am I not, nor here provincial. My business is that in this state made me a looker here in Vienna, where I have seen corruption boil and bubble till it o'errun the stew. Laws for all faults, but faults so countenanced that the strong statutes stand like the forfeits in a barber shop, as much in mock as mark.
Slander to the state! What can you vouch against him, Signor Lucio? Is not this the man you spoke of?
'Tis he, my lord. Come hither, Goodman Baldpate. Do you know me?
I remember you, sir, by the sound of your voice. I met you at the prison in the absence of the Duke.
Oh, did you so, sir? And was the Duke a fleshmonger, a fool, and a coward, as you then reported him to be?
You must, sir, change persons with me, ere you make that my report. You indeed spoke so of him, and much more, much worse.
Oh, thou damnable fellow, did I not pluck thee by the nose for thy offenses?
I protest. I love the Duke as I love myself.
Oh, come, sir, come, sir, come, sir. Fuck, sir. Why, you lying rascal, you must be hooded, must you? Show your knave's visage with a pox upon you. Show your sheep-biting face, and be hanged an hour. What? Will it not off? Ha, ha, ha.
You, sir, are the first knave that e'er mates the Duke. Sneak not away, sir, for the friar and you must have a word anon. Lay hold on him. When you have spoke, I pardon. Sit you down. Sir, by your leave. Hast thou a word, or wit, or impudence that yet can do the office? If thou hast, rely upon it till my tale be heard, and hold no longer out.
Oh, my dread lord, I should be guiltier than my guiltiness to think that, lying, I can be undiscernible when I perceive your grace like power divine hath looked upon my passes. Then, good prince, no longer session hold upon my shame, but let my trial be mine own confession,
Immediate sentence then, in secret death is all the grace I beg.
Come hither, Mariana. Say, was thou heir contracted to this woman?
I was, my lord.
Go take her hence and marry her instantly. Do you the office, friar, which consummate return him here again. Go with him.
My lord, I am more amazed at his dishonor than at the strangeness of it.
Come hither, Isabel. Your friar is now your prince. Fine.
As I was then.
As I was then, advertising and wholly to your business, not changing heart with habit, I am still attorney at your service.
Oh, give me pardon, that I, your vassal, have employed and pained your unknown sovereignty.
You are pardoned, Isabel. And now, dear maid, be you as free to us. Your brother's death, I know, sits at your heart, lying.
And you may marvel why.
And you may marvel why I obscured myself, lying, laboring to save his life, and would not rather make rash remonstrance of my hidden power than let him be so lost. But, oh, most kind maid, it was the swift celerity of his death, which I, with slower foot, which I lying, which I did think with slower foot came on, that brained my purpose. But peace be with him. Make it your comfort, so happy is your brother. For this new married man approaching here, whose salt imagination yet hath wronged your well-defended honor, you must pardon, for Mariana's sake. But, as he adjudged your brother, being criminal in double violation of promise breach and of sacred chastity, the very line, thereon dependent of your brother's life, the very mercy of the law cries out, most audible even from his proper tongue, and Angelo for Claudio, death for death. Haste still pays haste, and leisure answers leisure. Like doth quit like, and measure still for measure. Now, Angelo, thy faults thus manifested, which, though thou wouldst deny, denies thee vantage. We do condemn you to the very block where Claudio stooped to death, and with like haste away with him.
Oh, my most gracious lord, I hope you will not mock me with a husband.
It is your husband mocked you with a husband. Consenting to the safeguard of your honor, I thought your marriage fit, but his possessions, although by confiscation there are ours, we do instate you and whittle you with all, to buy you a better husband.
Oh, my dear lord, I crave no other nor no better man.
Never crave him, we are definitive.
Gentle, my liege.
You do but lose your leisure. Away with him to prison.
Oh, my dear lord! Sweet Isabel, do yet but kneel by me. Hold up your hand, say nothing, I'll speak all. They say best men are molded out of faults, and for the most become much more the better. For being a little bad, so may my husband. Oh, Isabel, will you not lend to me?
He dies for Claudio's death,